You don't owe us anything. You guys voted accordingly in the last election, and we as Latinos did not. We fucked up royally, especially my community of Puerto Ricans and the Cubans. We voted at a higher rate than any other fucking minority, over 60%. And you guys voted over 60%, no, fuck more, like 90% for Kamala Harris. We fucked up. So now we can't cry about it when you guys defended us in the polls, and we didn't even defend ourselves. So now there's a lesson to be learned. But again, thank you for your service. You don't owe us shit, my people.
I've been following you for a long time, and I've always respected your content. I've always viewed you as a very intelligent, articulate, critical thinker. So my question is, how did you fall for the PSYOP? I think what's most frustrating to me is that I continue to see POC content creators, large content creators, being contradictory and hypocritical in their messages. Saying Latinos voted for Trump is no different than saying Americans voted for Trump. Did we or didn't we not forget that there are 4 different racial categories under the Latino diaspora and title?
Well, it looks like she's found her new favorite word again. This whole attempt to deflect blame after the 2024 election, trying to spin it as some kind of conspiracy to make Latinos look bad, is just tired at this point. Yes, Latinos voted for Donald Trump. That's not a smear campaign, it's a fact. And no, the national election polls aren't uniquely biased. They're as flawed and as functional as any other data collection system, but the numbers are there. Now suddenly, we're supposed to start distinguishing between the white Latinos and the brown ones, as if that erases the issue. Some of the same people yelling about being indigenous and brown are also the ones insisting that the white Latinos are indigenous too. So which is it? Because you can't have it both ways. Like I said in my last video, y'all are not serious. I saw Lala whining in Native Mama's live, upset that I called her a white woman, claiming her white family members weren't colonizers. Girl, all white people are colonizers. That's an uncomfortable truth for many, but it's still the truth. It's the elephant in the room nobody wants to talk about, and this is exactly why white people should never be allowed to claim Native identity or be brought into spaces meant for indigenous voices. The moment someone like Lala insists her white ancestors weren't colonizers, she's already reinforcing the very white supremacist narratives that have distorted and erased history, and destroyed lives in the process. That comment alone tells you everything you need to know. She was raised culturally and physically as a white woman. And until you remove people like her from your communities and leadership circles, until you stop letting them rewrite your history from the inside, you will keep suffering the consequences. You can't just selectively reject colonialism while actively seeking proximity to whiteness. Wanting to marry a white person doesn't magically erase the history and legacy they carry. Colonialism is literally the reason white people are even in the Americas. Pretending that doesn't matter anymore just because you've got a white partner or mixed kids? That's not decolonization, that's assimilation. And that's exactly why there's so much tension and confusion right now. That's why these mass deportations are happening. It's the unresolved contradictions, the unwillingness to confront the truth about whiteness and proximity to power.
But instead what people are doing when they think of Latinos or Hispanics is they are thinking, stereotypically thinking, of brown people. People who have phenotypes that are indigenous to here. People who are indigenous Latinos. We forget that Asian Latinos exist, Black Latinos exist, but we most definitely always forget white Latinos exist. Comparing a diaspora that has 4 different racial groups in it to the Black community, which is one racial group, is a false equivalency. It's much easier for one racial group to get 90% than it is to get 4 racial groups to get 90%.
This is not how any of this works. The real issue here is the ongoing obsession with whiteness, specifically, the relentless pursuit of proximity to white identity and power. What we witnessed during the 2024 election was just another reflection of that, a marginalized group aligning itself with whiteness in hopes of gaining acceptance or protection. But just like the past 200 years, that proximity hasn't brought liberation. If anything, it's backfired, and now some are attempting to gaslight Black people into aiding in their liberation.
To those stating, it is not my fight. This is why this country is in the position that it is today. The color of my skin should not matter. Whether I'm brown, black, purple. This is a humanitarian issue. We are in this position because there is no unity.
And the truth is, Latinos voted how they have historically voted since the 80s. Those initial exit poll results were to anger people on purpose. Did it not raise up red flags when people saw that Latinos somehow all of a sudden switched sides?
Latinos didn't switch sides. They've long leaned conservative. So no, their support for Trump shouldn't be shocking. It's simply a continuation of a political pattern, not some new betrayal.
And voted majority for Trump? Historically, they have voted Democrat in the 60% range since at least 2000. The highest it's ever been was 73%, and that was for Barack Obama. But apparently this is about anti-blackness, right? Not to mention those national exit polls are always biased when it comes to race, because Latino is a race in the exit polls, but it's not a race in the census.
And while we're at it, let's clear up another point that seems to keep confusing people. No, Latino is not a race. But on official documents, like the census, race and ethnicity are often grouped together. That isn't because the government doesn't understand the difference. It's done to reduce confusion when people are filling out forms. That doesn't change the fact that many Latinos still identify as white, benefit from whiteness, or seek proximity to it, which plays a key role in these broader dynamics. Until you let go of this obsession with whiteness, the constant need to marry white people, befriend them, invite them into every corner of your lives, these problems will persist. Whiteness is not your friend. It was constructed specifically to erase anything that isn't white. White supremacy has existed for centuries not just because of white people, but because people of color have repeatedly helped uphold it, whether consciously or not. If you want real change, you have to actively reject whiteness and the Eurocentric ideologies embedded in your worldview. If not, you're simply reenacting the same cycles of harm you claim to be fighting against. We don't need more performative think pieces or hot takes on the state of America. We need different behavior. Until then, you're just talking in circles.